What is up, everybody? Night Batman here, back again after a long hiatus. I kind of took a break from YouTube because I've just been so tired from school and work, but I really had to come back, and even just for the occasion, as you can see, and you already know what I'm going to be reacting to and doing an analysis and a discussion for, judging from what you clicked on. Yes, this is finally our first official trailer for Glass, the sequel to Unbreakable and the sequel to Split that also came out, I believe, last year or 2 years ago. But yeah, time has been flying, and I'm so happy that we finally get this first trailer because I have been dying for a sequel to Unbreakable and seeing David Dunn continue his story as a hero, because you know he finally accepted his like that he can actually be a hero at the end of the movie. But I wanted to see more, and finally we're gonna see not only his story continue but also how he comes across the Beast from Split. So without further ado, let's just jump into this trailer because I am so excited.
It's amazing to meet you. It is simply extraordinary. Maybe this will all make sense if I explain who I am. My name is Dr. Ellie Staple, and I'm a psychiatrist. My work concerns a particular type of delusion of grandeur. It's a growing field. I specialize in those individuals who believe they are superheroes.
Oh shit! It's Patricia!
Good for you.
The three of you've convinced yourselves you have extraordinary gifts like something out of a comic book. David Dunn, the only person to survive that train wreck all those years ago. What do?
I'm in security.
You think you have superpowers.
It's a feeling. Vision. I have to touch them.
You believe you are a protector.
My name is Patricia.
I have no question there are 24 identities
I'm Mary Reynolds. Por favor, senor. We almost got you, bro.
that live in that body with you.
The beast is coming any minute now for you
Edwin.
guys.
But what I am questioning is your belief that you are something more than human.
And yet, it is true.
I'm so excited.
My bones break easily. I've had 94 breaks in my life.
But you have an extraordinary IQ.
This is not a cartoon. This is the real world.
No way.
And yet, some of us still don't die with bullets. Some of us can still bend steel. I've been waiting for the world to see that we exist. May I meet the Beast? I have for your sake that he likes you. That sounds like the bad guys teaming up. A lot of people are going to die. Don't do this. Are you ready?
Oh my gosh!
What do we call you, son? First name, Mr. Last name, Glass.
Holy shit. This is without a doubt gonna be, this is not only one of my most anticipated movies of 2019, but I think it is probably my most anticipated movie of 2019. And this is probably my favorite trailer of the year. Now, where do we even start with this trailer? First of all, it's so great to see Bruce Willis back as David Dunn. Again, seeing him wearing his signature poncho, which is pretty much, I think, become his superhero costumes, as we kind of noticed in Unbreakable. I really like that we're gonna get to see a lot of scenes with him in it, as we saw in the trailer. So it's clear that he's still going at the whole superhero thing, and he hasn't stopped. That scene where he kind of bumps into Kevin, he kind of has that flash and sees the cheerleaders. So I'm thinking that, okay, maybe this is where he's gonna come across the Beast for the first time and find out about the cheerleaders. I don't know if maybe this is while he's looking for the Beast, or he's maybe just kind of doing his own thing. But I did also kind of notice he was wearing like some kind of headphone thing, and it looked like maybe he was speaking into something. And I even remember in the tease before the trailer came out, for the David Dunn spot where they showed some footage of him, and there was a shot of him near like a pier, but it didn't show up in the trailer, and it sounded like he was talking to someone. You know, it's just my speculation that maybe he's talking to his son, because what I also love is how in this trailer we actually see characters from Unbreakable return. We see the actor who actually played Joseph Dunn, David's son from the first movie, actually come back, as you can see in this picture, and he's also standing next to Casey from Split, and she's also standing next to Elijah Price's mom from Unbreakable, and she is also played by the same actress. So it's nice to see that these three characters from both movies are played by their same respectable actors, and that they each kind of have a role in like the big conflict. You also have Joseph as David's son. You have Casey, who I'm guessing wants to help Kevin, especially Hedwig, because as you also saw in the trailer, she kind of comes to visit him, which is something you kind of would think is weird since she was held prisoner, but I think she feels sympathy towards Kevin Crumb and the other identities who are held prisoner by the Horde. So I'm really interested to see her role in this, and also of course Elijah Price's mom is there. I also remember hearing from the CinemaCon that there was a trailer that showed for Glass, and there was a shot where they showed in a comic book store a sign that said heroes, and another shot that showed a sign that said villains, and I was so happy seeing it in the trailer. And what's also cool is that M. Night Shyamalan brings back that whole color palette kind of thing, or that emphasis on color and what they stand for, because in Unbreakable, if you look at it, green was really David Dunn's color, and you really see it stand out from the movie, because some parts felt kind of grayish or lacking of color, but you can really see the green pop out, especially also with Elijah Price, where a lot of his purple really stood out, and a lot of the background colors felt kind of muted. So it's nice to see that he'll follow that trend here too, as per that comic book shot where the heroes are again in color green, which is really standing for David Dunn, and you have the villain sign that's in purple, and of course that's standing for Elijah Price, and I'm really excited to see more of that. And then we have this new character of Ellie Staple, who's trying to study these three and try to help them into thinking that maybe they really aren't as special as they think, that this whole thing about them believing that they're superheroes is not true. But I like how in the trailer it kind of shows that maybe she's gonna come around and kind of believe them, that maybe they really do have abilities, and I believe that shot was of her in the comic book shop, where she's probably trying to do some more research and trying to understand the psyche of the hero and villain kind of thing. So I'm really interested to see that play as well. And also because in Unbreakable, I like how what I really loved about Unbreakable, again, one of my favorite movies of all time, is that it was kind of like a superhero movie in disguise, and it mainly had that whole mystery of, there's this guy who survived a train crash, but how did he do it? How did he survive? But then as you watch it, you see comic books kind of really play a bigger role in it, and even a comic book store, and this whole thing about superheroes and villains. And I like how that returns for this, because it was really absent in Split, and it really didn't need to be present in Split, which was understandable. And so it's nice to see that play a part here, and even seeing Elijah looking at a comic book, that's really cool. And I like how they mention how he has a really high IQ, and it kind of really brings up like a similar relationship between Superman and Lex Luthor, because with Superman, he's strong, he's powerful. Lex Luthor is a human, but he's very, very smart. Same thing with David and with Mr. Glass, but then of course Mr. Glass is the exact opposite physically of David, as his bones are very fragile and can break easily. But of course he has the Horde, who has the beast within him, who Elijah will, I'm sure, exploit, and I'm really interested to see how they work together. And I also like how the line that Elijah Price or Mr. Glass had, where he's been waiting for the world to realize that people like them exist, is also a line that the Horde said at the end of Split, where they're finally happy that now maybe the world is gonna believe that they exist too, like having abilities and being strong. And so you can definitely see how they both have the same goal and how they can kind of work together, and how they're definitely going to be working together to fight David Dunn, who's trying to stop both of them. And it's just it's really cool, and it really makes for an epic story, especially of good versus evil, of a superhero versus a supervillain. So let's kind of look more at some of these shots, because I kind of went through the trailer little by little, and maybe so we can talk a little bit more about maybe also what might happen in the movie. So with these two shots here, where we see David Dunn in the rain and we see some cops who kind of have him surrounded, we also see another shot later in the trailer where we see Dr. Ellie Staple, who is there trying to maybe tell them to stop, and then another shot right after that of the Beast or the Horde in the rain with the hand up. I'm thinking that this could possibly be after David and the Beast's first encounter, because I think that the Beast is wearing the same pants that he kind of wears in the trailer. Like, if you kind of look at the trailer in the part where Hedwig is kind of skating around and he's warning the cheerleaders that the Beast is coming soon, you can see that he's wearing like a white pants with like yellow and black stripe. And then if you kind of look again in the trailers, there's a part where, you know, the Beast is holding on to David and David jumps out the window and he's wearing those same pants. So you can tell it's that same day. And especially when you see the Beast climbing again like he did in Split towards David. I can't wait to see that scene because you know that they're going to have that big first conflict. But I got really scared when David jumped out of the window and you can see the Beast on his back. But it looks like maybe they're going to fall into the river of the pier or something. Or I don't know, because water is his weakness. So I'm really scared for him. But if this does take place before the institution, at least I know he'll be safe because this is where they get caught and get brought in. So it's going to be really cool to see how that plays out. Or it could be at the end. I don't know, because, you know, at least Dr. Ellie does come into that shot where she's trying to stop them. So I don't know, maybe she's following the whole situation and goes there to try and recommend that they get taken with her, or if this is at the ending and maybe, like, you know, she finally decides, okay, what they're saying is true, I have to help them and everything. But yeah, I am really curious to see how that goes. It's nice to also see like how David's strength is portrayed. I like how when he was bending that metal rod or whatever, and how he just threw back those riot officers like they were nothing, and you can tell he's putting them in that container because he's probably trying to keep them safe, and also so that he doesn't get in their way of trying to stop the Beast. And I love how the ending of the trailer is just them like going at it. I also heard in one video on YouTube that David Dunn is actually called the Sentinel, which I think is a pretty cool like superhero name for him, and I'm glad that he's finally gonna get something, because Elijah has Mr. Glass, Kevin has the Horde who's controlling him, and they have the Beast underneath, who is the big bad of it all. And then you also have, of course, David Dunn, who now finally get a superhero name, so that's so cool. I also like the part where David pulls out the poncho in that one scene. But also, if you kind of look carefully in this scene, you can kind of see all these boxes almost, or something. And then if you look at the very last shot of the trailer, you see Mr. Glass in that same room with those boxes. So I'm wondering if maybe he's watching or suggesting maybe to David that he stops him or anything, because I really feel like maybe Mr. Glass is gonna have a hand in this, and maybe he's gonna be kind of like controlling both of them in a way, like kind of manipulating them. So it's gonna be curious I'm gonna be really curious to see how much of a role he plays in this, especially since, you know, the movie does have his name in it, so he's got to have a really big role. Glass coming out January 2019. I am so excited. I have been waiting for this movie ever since Unbreakable came out in 2000, always hoping for, you know, any news of Unbreakable 2 just to continue David Dunn's story. And then Split came out with that big twist ending, not really big twist, but big reveal that Split is in the same universe as Unbreakable. And now that he hears this news and now he knows he has to go stop the Beast, it was just so awesome. And I think that M. Night Shyamalan's gonna do a great job with this, and if he does, this is gonna be probably my favorite trilogy of all time, right up there with the Dark Knight trilogy. And, you know, I really believe that he can do it. This is something he's been working on ever since Unbreakable, especially because if you guys didn't know, Unbreakable was originally planned for kind of a bigger movie, but he kind of condensed it more and took out that whole thing with this other villain, the Orange Man, who would actually become the Beast. And focus more on David's origin, and then, you know, he kind of had that little like enemy of the Orange Man there at the end. But then you have Split, which is a big villain origin movie, and then he does kind of have that like kind of orange color theme to him, but then this is like the big bad. And I think that maybe his ideas of the character kind of grew more from that. Maybe he added more to it ever since Unbreakable, but it's nice to see that he finally has this third movie coming out where both movies are gonna collide, and the big story and the big continuation of these characters, and just to see how their conflicts come about. It has me really excited, and I just really love it, because even Unbreakable was a superhero movie that really handled it. Even like before Batman Begins, I think like Batman Begins did a great job of grounding a superhero movie in reality, and then Unbreakable did it even just as good, maybe if not better, because of how it did it so secretly, and they didn't even advertise it like it, just more like a mystery thriller. But now with this, they can really go all out, and I can't wait to see what M. Night has in store for us. So if you guys would like to see the trailer without my reaction, please feel free to click the link in the description below and check it out. And what can I say? I don't mind if we don't get another trailer, because an almost 3-minute trailer that's near perfect, and probably one of my favorite trailers of the year. Probably, yeah, I think it is the best trailer of the year. You can't go wrong. I wouldn't be sad if this is the only trailer we get. So really excited. one of my most anticipated movies of 2019, probably the most, and I can't wait. And I'm really glad that you guys, I'm really thankful that you guys were able to see my reaction and watch this with me. Really hope you guys enjoyed. I may do some reactions a little more over the weekend. We'll see. I was hoping for the Halloween footage or trailer to come out from Comic-Con or even Venom, but you know, that didn't happen. But maybe I'll even do a reaction for Godzilla. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and take care. Later.